Hi Cosorians, I'm Chef Margaret and today I'll be making a citrus and herb turkey breast, all made in the air fryer and serving it with crispy Brussels sprouts. It's so delicious and the perfect thing to make for your holiday meal. Hit the subscribe button to become part of the Cosori community and to be notified every time we upload new recipe videos, which we do every Thursday. Hit the bell icon. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna toast our aniseed. So I have 1 teaspoon of aniseed, or you can use fennel seeds. They're very similar. And we're just gonna put them in a dry skillet. And I'm gonna toast them over medium-low heat for about 1 to 2 minutes, just until they're really fragrant and slightly golden brown. And then I'm gonna let them cool completely, and then I'm gonna grind them up in my spice grinder. You can use a mortar and pestle. You can roughly chop them if you don't have that either. And then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so I put my toasted aniseed that I grinded in the spice grinder into this little mini food processor. And to that, I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of kosher salt. We're basically just making a really nice flavorful spice and herb mixture that we're gonna add to our turkey. So I've got the 4 teaspoons of kosher salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper. We got 1 teaspoon of dark brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of freshly grated orange zest that I just grated on a microplane. Lovely. And I've got 2 teaspoons of fresh rosemary leaves that I just roughly chopped. It's just gonna make it easier to get really finely chopped in the mini food processor. And 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme leaves. And now I'm just gonna simply get this going in the mini food processor. If you don't have one, you can totally just like chop it up really finely by hand. Okay, awesome. Super fast. So now we just get to rub all of this on our turkey. So I have 1 2.5 pound turkey half breast with rib meat. So now we're going to take this mixture. I'm gonna get rid of the blade. And I'm just gonna evenly rub it on both sides of the turkey. Get it all mixed up. It smells so good with the orange zest and the rosemary and thyme. It's like, you know, just like fall in your kitchen pretty much. They're like flavors that I love. So good. You just kind of want to massage it into the turkey, get it all in there. Get your hand dirty. I'm gonna flip it over and add some more there. Nice. And so what we're essentially doing is kind of like a dry brine, because we're going to put this in the refrigerator for about 4 to 6 hours. And the salt and all the spices and seasonings, they're gonna really penetrate into the turkey meat, and it's gonna be so flavorful throughout because it's gonna be able to get into all of the turkey meat before we pop it in the air fryer. And so I have it just like on a rimmed baking sheet lined with foil so that it's, you know, really easy to carry and transport. And so yeah, this looks awesome. We're gonna pop it into the fridge for about 4 to 6 hours. All right, so the turkey breast was in the refrigerator for about 4 to 6 hours. And so what I did was I then rinsed it in the sink, just, you know, rinsed off some of the seasonings, and then I patted it dry super well. And so we do that because you wanna rinse it off, because otherwise the turkey breast might be a little bit too salty, because we put, you know, about 4 teaspoons of kosher salt on this. So we wanna kind of rinse that off and pat it dry super well so that the skin gets super crispy in the air fryer. So now we're just going to take about 4 teaspoons of olive oil, and I'm gonna rub it all over the turkey breast. And so I also already got my air fryer preheated to 330 degrees. So it is all ready to go. You just want to get some olive oil in there, and this is just going to help it get super nice golden brown, and the skin is going to get really nice and crispy. And this is such a really easy impressive thing to make during the holidays, whether it's, for a holiday party, for Christmas Eve, Christmas dinner. It's so easy to make in the air fryer, and you're only dealing with, a turkey breast if you only have a couple of people over. And, you can do the dry brine, ahead of time, and then you just pop it in the air fryer. And it's so easy. It comes together quickly and super impressive. All right, this looks awesome. So I'm going to pop it in the air fryer basket. Just gonna put it in, and it fits perfectly. Obviously, we can't make a whole turkey in the air fryer because that doesn't fit, but the turkey breast fits perfectly. And this is gonna go at 330 degrees for 40 minutes, and it's gonna be beautifully golden brown and delicious and tender on the inside. The turkey breast is finally done cooking, so let's see how it looks. It smells amazing in here. Oh yeah, it's so beautifully golden throughout, and the skin is really crispy. Oh, it's gonna be so good. And it was so easy to make. We didn't have to baste anything or worry about doing anything. The air fryer did all the work, only took 40 minutes. Looks beautiful. So now what we wanna do is let it rest for about 10 minutes before we slice into it. So I'm gonna let this rest, and then we'll get started cooking on the Brussels sprouts. All right, so now we're gonna move on to making our crispy Brussels sprouts. They are so easy to make, so delicious, and the perfect side dish for any holiday meal that you make. So the first thing that we're gonna do is preheat the air fryer to 380 degrees and get that going. Preheat. All right, so while that's going, I'm going to get the Brussels sprouts going. So I have 1 pound of Brussels sprouts that I just kind of removed the tough outer leaves, and I trimmed the base and then just cut them in half. Super easy. And to that, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of olive oil in there, perfect. I have 2 small shallots that I thinly sliced, and that just goes in here. And the shallots get nice and crispy with the Brussels sprouts in the air fryer, and they're so delicious. And I have a half a teaspoon of kosher salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of fresh thyme leaves. So easy. And then I have 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, but I'm going to save that until after the Brussels sprouts are done in the air fryer. I add the balsamic, give them a quick toss, and then plate them up. So I'm just gonna stir this, make sure all the Brussels sprouts are well coated in all of the olive oil and seasonings. That looks awesome. And then once the air fryer is done preheating, we'll add the Brussels sprouts in. All right, the air fryer is preheated, so now we can add the Brussels sprouts. It's nice and hot, and I'm just gonna dump it in. It's nice and hot, you can already hear the sizzle. Make sure it's nice and even, and these go in at 380 for 14 minutes, and I'm gonna press the shake button, so it's gonna remind me to shake the basket halfway through cooking. All right, the shake reminder went off, so let's shake the Brussels sprouts. They already are looking so awesome. They're getting really nice and crispy, so I'm just shaking it, tossing them around. That way they get evenly golden and crispy throughout. All right, I'm gonna pop it back in, and they're gonna finish cooking. All right, the Brussels sprouts are done. Let's see how they look. Oh, they look perfect. Do you hear that? That's how crispy they are. And so now I'm just gonna add just about a tablespoon of balsamic, just on top, and then give it another shake. And the acid from the balsamic vinegar really just makes these Brussels sprouts so delicious. Oh, they look perfect. I love Brussels sprouts that are really nice and crispy, and these are perfect. So now I'm just gonna get to plating the turkey breast and the Brussels sprouts, and then it's time to dig in and taste. All right, it's time to taste the turkey and Brussels sprouts. I plated them all really nicely right here. I've got the sliced turkey breast and the crispy Brussels sprouts. So let's give it a try. I'm gonna take this little piece and a Brussels sprout. I'm gonna try it. So tender. So good. The turkey is perfectly seasoned, and that's because we did the dry brine, so all of the seasonings and salt really penetrated into the turkey meat, so it's perfectly seasoned, and it cooked perfectly in the air fryer at 330 for 40 minutes. It's juicy and tender, and I know a lot of people stress out during the holidays of like overcooking their turkey or roast or whatever it is, but it comes out amazing in the air fryer and golden and juicy and just so delicious. Now I'm gonna taste the Brussels sprout. Still crunchy. So good. It's like super flavorful, crispy and golden on the outside. And I love the flavor combo with the shallots and balsamic glaze on top that we tossed them in. It's so easy and delicious to make Brussels sprouts. I make these like year time around. And I wanna know, what is your favorite main dish to serve around the holidays? Turkey breast is super popular. I know a lot of people make beef roasts or different things, so leave a comment below and let us know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked watching this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.